All right, welcome to our. Okay, listen. So,
Sorry, I'm like staring at you.
I literally just got
laughing.
the string stuck in my mouth. I was like, oh no.
Stop!
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You are the two first women on our podcast. So,
Oh, you didn't tell us
Special
that.
moment. I'm
Cool.
sorry.
Oh,
Like
that's
it.
awesome.
Hopefully
Finally.
more to come. I mean, obviously this platform is for everyone to come on here, and I think there's a special merit for both of you to come here because we're in like a pretty crazy project, right? So you know, people that are watching this probably may not know about it. Like,
Yeah.
where did this start, and where are we at?
Oof.
Oh my god.
This
Who had the
started.
crazy idea?
Okay, long
Okay, yes,
story
yeah.
short.
Okay.
So
You
we
can do
lost
the
our-
long version.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
no, we'll be here all day. So, I mean, we lost our jobs during COVID.
Okay.
So Ashley and I actually went to Sayulita right
Right.
before COVID happened. Couldn't afford it. But we were like, we really want to go on a girls' trip. So went away, super on a budget, literally slept 3 girls in one bed the whole trip.
Nice.
It was great. But then we got back and we are like, gotta hustle, like, get back to work. I think we worked, 2 days?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, COVID's a thing. And they
Right.
laid
Shut
us all
everything
off.
down.
And where were you working?
Porter Airlines.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so we were at the airport. Anyways, I think we got laid off for originally 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
exactly.
yeah, right?
2
2 years
weeks,
later.
I think, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure 2 weeks was our first layoff.
Yeah.
And then that was in March. And then I think Ashley came over hush hush, secretly in the summer, and I was like, we need to have a glass of wine or something. I'm losing
Yeah.
my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just started chatting. We had both looked at similar properties, thinking about doing
In this
something
area.
Okay.
along these lines with
Yeah.
our partners at the time.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of like, well, fuck it. Why don't we just do something together?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then we started looking. So that was in July. We bought this place in October
Yeah.
of 2020.
So and we were just at another project in one of our recent episodes. Was it difficult because they had difficulty finding the land? Like, what was the process?
It was
of
not that difficult,
Okay,
honestly.
you're-
It was
we
very
stopped-
meant to be.
It was very meant to be, yes.
Okay,
So we went and
okay.
looked at a property in Shepparton.
Okay.
We went out for lunch the day that he was like, I feel like I have a good feeling about this. We're like, let's
You guys
order
got
a
this
glass of
property
wine.
for
Yeah.
sure.
We were like, we're gonna cheers, and then he's like, so they
About
accepted the
that.
offer.
Yeah, we're literally
like,
cheersing
oh.
wine at Galactus, to future endeavors.
Yeah.
Calls us. You didn't get it. And we were
No.
like,
Oh my god.
And we were actually distraught. We're like,
Yeah.
no, this is the perfect property. And then we went to our neighbors next door at Fundy
Okay.
Farms. He's like, actually, the property next door to me, I know the guy.
No way.
If you want his number, give him a call. He might want to sell you the property. And then
Yeah.
we did.
It
and
wasn't
that
for
was
sale.
This is it.
It wasn't
yeah,
for sale.
It wasn't
no.
for sale at the time.
Okay.
And this is it.
Yeah.
So did you have to like convince them? Like, how did that work?
No.
It was
not
really casual, honestly.
so
I
casual.
called him first. I think I was at Home Depot, and I was like, "Hey, Ryan gave me your number. Are
Yeah.
you interested at all? No worries if not." We didn't even know what this place looked like.
No.
And he's like, "Yeah, well, why don't you come up and we'll just walk the property." So this was fully wooded. There was no driveway.
Okay.
There was nothing.
You know, a lot of
Couldn't even get
horror
up.
movies start that way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Come up here into the woods with me,
Yeah,
ladies.
yeah.
And we're like, "Sure will."
Yeah. Awesome.
We have a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, we walked through the property and it was there is green moss that flows
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Okay.
These trees are so mature.
True, yeah.
It's it was just a mesmerizing
Magical.
piece
Okay.
of land.
Honestly,
It
yeah.
really was. We walked around and we sat in one mossy spot that's I think over here now.
Yeah.
And we were just
This is
we
it.
never want to leave. We
Yeah.
literally want to stay here
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So he was super great about it. He's like, yeah, if you guys want to stay on the site and
Walk around,
Yeah.
get the feel,
So we
get
ended
the
up
feel for
camping
it.
out. It was the end of October.
Yeah, Halloween.
Okay.
The day before Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just
This
camped
is
up
the
here.
craziest.
I know.
How are you still alive?
I don't know.
know.
We had a bonfire.
Oh my
we were just
God.
feeling out the vibes of the land. And
Yeah.
then, and then we started construction on it without actually legally owning it.
No.
He's
Okay.
like, start, it's fine. I trust everything's going to go through. So we started, he actually helped with some of the progression
Yeah.
of the roadway.
That's crazy.
And then that's kind of all where it started.
Did he I might be might be completely wrong, but I feel like did someone tell him that he wanted to do this and then
No,
was like, okay,
I don't
well,
think so.
Because we
Honestly,
weren't really part of the community at that
No.
point. Like
Right.
really no one knew us. Like we
Yeah.
knew Ryan and Ange next door strictly because, well, Corey worked there.
Okay.
And Angela, we've
you just
known for a
met.
long time.
And Angela-
she worked at the gate with us like years and years ago.
Yeah.
but-
So literally other than that, we knew really no one
No
in this
one.
community. And they didn't really know the whole gist of what we wanted to do either. They just knew we wanted to do something in hospitality.
Yeah.
So where did it start? Did you know that it was going to evolve into a project like this, or was there where did the division start?
Funny.
So
I'll let you
our
connect.
original vision,
Yeah.
So, and it's funny that you ask because we were talking about it yesterday.
yeah, it's changed a lot.
Oh,
Well, that's
has
what
it
I mean.
ever?
Like, I feel like
Holy.
Big
'cause-
time.
So
Yeah.
the other episode we did with Stoke Resort, Mary and Marcel,
Yeah, we watched it.
They wanted to start with domes, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then-
did we.
So did we.
Right? Okay.
Glad we did not.
But it was like, I mean, at that time, there wasn't so
wasn't-
many
yeah.
domes, right?
Right.
Like, we're talking 4 years ago now. There wasn't as many. So for us, it was like there was a few in New Brunswick, but it was still like,
it was a new and upcoming thing, but
Yeah.
not really overly well known.
Right.
yeah, not like oversaturated.
No.
So yeah, that's where we were at. We actually purchased, what, 8 domes?
Yes. Sold 7 of them.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Like this space we're in right now was supposed to be a
supposed to
huge
be a
dome.
dome.
And then all of our now cabins were all supposed to be domes.
Yeah.
We have one that we kept for the yoga
Did
studio.
you do that one? Okay.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
one just over here. So Ashley uses that for yoga.
Yeah.
And then we have it as like a lounge space, meditation room when people are here. So, I mean, that one worked out. But
So started off with a dome, and then it kind of transpired. Like, how did we got cold plunge, hot tub, like a bar, like
This was an afterthought.
it really was, yeah.
The Nordic Lounge was like
Okay.
a complete afterthought.
Not even part of the original business
No,
plan.
not at
like,
all.
we were just focused on overnights. And then this was going to be
Yeah.
like a
Right.
check-in area.
Yeah.
And then Ashley and I went and actually stayed at some domes.
Yeah.
Which it was fun. Like domes are super charming.
They are,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong. They're just very hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went and we stayed and we had fun. But like at that point, we were like 2 single moms, and we're like,
we're
we want to.
bored.
Where are all the people? Like,
Right.
let's like, why does no one want to hang out?
okay.
So then we started talking and we're like, why don't we do a bar? Like we would enjoy having
Right.
this aspect of getting away,
Yeah.
having like our alone time, but also, you know, the opportunity to
Connecting
meet
in, like, a
people.
little small
Yeah,
area,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like a resort.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you go away somewhere, like you meet friends that you have for a long time.
Yeah.
So we were like, we want that for people.
Yeah. So we thought about the bar and then we were like, realistically, we should have a pool because I mean, we have beautiful water, but no actual immediate access. No one's really swimming in the currents of the Petty Kodiak right off the Bay of Fundy. So we thought of that. And then we figured, honestly, like
with
our
a
whole
sauna.
design at that point was inspired by like Scandinavian
Okay.
and Nordic culture. So, I mean, this kind of just
Evolved.
Involved.
but yeah,
into
it's
the-
funny now because we actually get a lot of folks that come out here for day passes for the
Okay.
Nordic Lounge that don't know we have overnights.
No way.
So it was like, it's a total 180
I
sometimes.
know.
We're like, this wasn't even actually supposed to be part of it at all. It was
and
supposed
it's
to be.
also become probably the biggest attraction.
Yeah,
has,
it really is like a
honestly
big
has.
part of our income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, I mean, it worked out. It
Yeah.
was obviously pricey in the time to
Yeah.
add it into an already big business plan, but
This right here, like before we even thought about having a dome, we were gonna have like a 1 check-in building.
We were gonna have,
with,
like, a shed?
a 1 bed.
it was very tiny. This like
So
thought
small.
in our brains was like, we'll have this
Oh
tiny
my
little
gosh.
room. We'll have a shed. I mean, for now, we'll just put a bed in it so we can also sleep there and
Yeah.
check people in.
Like,
and then we were
what?
gonna have like random domes. It's just evolved. Like, but I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Yep, exactly.
Thinking about like how many of these ideas must have played around in your head and how beautiful it is now, it's kind of funny thinking you
I know.
wanted to go with this shit.
I know.
Right?
I
This is
know.
the total opposite.
I just
know.
think at that point we had like we were our own general contractors. Like we had no idea. Ashley and I both own like our small home-based businesses.
Right.
Like I've worked with you before. But like nothing substantial when it came to
No,
taking
never.
out large loans and stuff. So like we had no idea what we were doing. It's
We also
hilarious.
thought it was gonna take what, 9 months?
Yeah.
How long did
2.5 years.
True. Eh?
2.5 years. But we also picked
Again,
away at it.
And it was
ourselves.
just Katie and I, her dad, Dale, Justin,
Yeah.
It's true.
and like other,
Our family.
Yeah,
would help out.
families,
But no
yeah.
like significant contracting team.
no,
out
we
here.
were the
So
contractors.
no, yeah. So we
we didn't
bought
even go to school
everything
for it.
on this property. We did a lot of shopping,
impressive.
but it took a
Yeah.
long time.
It did.
So-
But it was worth it because we learned so much from it. And we know every little detail about everything.
Every
Right.
cabin,
Here now.
where the
So-
wiring
The
goes
whole process,
through
right?
each
Yeah.
wall,
Yeah.
where the plumbing runs, where it goes underground. Like every single thing on this property, we put our hands into. So like at the time it was frustrating, but now I'm like, oh, it's great. Don't drill a hole in that wall. You're gonna
No.
puncture a friggin' wire.
Yes.
It's good.
Learn as you go.
I think
Yeah.
it's necessary for.
It is.
Well, maybe not for everyone. Like some people don't want to have their hands in any part of
Right.
the construction phase. But I think it is important. It helps a lot with running a business when you really
True,
know
right.
every
The ins
little
and outs.
detail
Yeah,
of how it's
exactly.
built and what goes
Yeah.
into it.
Was there, I find like, and as I continue to speak with people that have started businesses or new projects and stuff like that, sometimes there's like this aha moment. Like, was it just the losing of the job, or was there something like in the past someone didn't believe in you, or you had like always this dream? Was it a breakup, or like you know, like,
God.
like
Maybe a
weird
little
questions
bit.
like
I
that,
think it was a
right?
compilation, literally all those
Probably.
things combined. Like I know, and I don't know about yourself, but I found we worked in hospitality together
Yeah.
for a decade. And I just found like I liked it. There were aspects of it I really enjoyed, but like I never truly foresaw myself always working for someone.
No.
Right.
Like
And neither
I
did I.
struggle with that. Like it's a personality flaw, I'll admit it. But like I really don't like when people tell me what to do.
Me being the person who needs to tell you what to do.
Yes, as you were my old boss, but you were a great one. We didn't have that
I was
problem.
a chill boss.
You were a very chill boss. But yeah, I always struggled with that, and I just didn't see that as like my future forever.
No.
And that's we
Yeah.
both started small businesses, so we could
Yeah.
work for ourselves.
And we both managed, restaurants, hotels and stuff together. And we're like,
This is our education.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is what we know. It wasn't like we were going to open a business that we're starting from scratch. Like we have to
And
learn
not
every
know.
single thing about how to run it. Like it was very natural. And then also Ashley and I traveled a lot together, and we always
Yeah.
like we would go away and be like, oh my god, that's a really cool idea. But like, what if we had something? I mean, oftentimes it was more down south, so completely different vibe. But just like more of the experience of traveling and like getting to know people and like what we would want to. We would dream about it, but never really thought it would come to fruition to this degree, for sure.
So are you able to, because there's, obviously you've worked in the restaurant industry. There's always like, I find there's like two types of restaurant owners. There's like the one that wants to entertain their friends and ends up noticing it's a money pit and it's not really worth it. And then the other person that's like just really passionate about it. Like, are you able to enjoy what you've built? Like, do you find, or is it like a...
Yeah, 100%. Like, okay, so that's the thing about here. Ashley and I are here every day.
Right.
So like, it is super rare that we don't check in the guests, that we don't like get to know them pretty well.
Yeah.
Like we're always the ones serving their drinks. So like, we're very actively involved in the everyday management of this place. And we really thoroughly love getting to know
It's
people
funny
here.
because
Like,
sometimes we'll have guests arrive and they'll go right up to the room and then we don't see them. They just want to stay in their space, and I'm like, oh, we didn't get to meet them.
yeah,
We
like
didn't
we
get to know
really
them.
like. There's people that have stayed here that have genuinely become like very close
Yes.
to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And we probably would have never met them
No.
if it wasn't for here.
right?
Yeah.
So that's like
Exactly.
a beautiful part of our job for sure. Like we said, there's some people that really want to come and just like have that escape in the woods, and like 100%, I get it. But yeah, like we have a couple that we literally like fell in love with that were here last spring, and
they're
they just
coming again.
rebooked and they're
No
coming
way.
soon, and we were
Yes.
like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
We're
Like
so
a lifetime
excited.
customer. right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So like, yeah, it's great because I mean, we get to make friends. We get to like enjoy what we're doing. I don't know. It doesn't feel like work, and I know that's super cliche, but like we're genuinely just getting to know people and hanging out with them, and it isn't like. I don't know.
Well, I feel like you've solved that pain point that you had in your previous experiences, which was like you didn't want someone to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And now you're in a situation where you're in control of doing something, and you're probably using a lot of those experiences in the past where you probably would have done differently,
Yeah.
maybe shown a little bit more grace, like
Exactly.
not been an asshole about a situation.
Yeah.
And you're obviously, if people are coming back or they're falling in love not only with the place but the people that are here, it says a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we want to make it a very like natural experience. We don't want you to come here and us act like we're like these sterile employees that are like very professional. That's just not our personalities. So I think that's the kind of people we attract. I'm sure some people come here and are probably like, why are those girls talking to us?
Why are they so friendly?
I don't know why they keep talking to us. We don't want to talk to them. But I mean, that's fine. We get it, I guess.
Maybe it borders on the like, maybe there are those like crazy psycho girls that are kill us in our sleep, and then also really the kind country girls.
I know.
Where's the line drawn?
Yeah.
But no, for the most part, like I think that's kind of the experience folks are looking for. I mean, we do set like a vibe for mostly people that want to be outdoors and they want to like enjoy nature, and that kind of aligns with who we are. So it makes it very natural.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Exactly.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
So what other, like, you know, you've got the Nordic spa on that, you know, you're doing events and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, walk me through a little bit about that. Like,
Yeah. Well,
Events.
this location, we'd like to kind of mention, sorry,
No,
I'll let you go about
that's
events.
fine, that's fine.
But yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a Nordic lounge. So definitely different from Nordic spa experience.
Okay.
Like we actually really thoroughly kind of enjoy when people talk. We play music. It's a social environment.
usually it's quiet.
It's
right?
very
Yes.
quiet.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to take a modern approach on it because for us, we're just not the type of people that could own a place where we're silent because no one would want us here. So yeah, it's definitely a change of pace from a lot of the other Nordic spas in the province or in Canada for the most part. But yeah, like we really love when guests will come down or even day pass holders and they're all in the pool or they're all in the sauna and they get to know each other.
Yeah.
And like some folks will literally make plans to like meet at each other's cottage one day.
Yeah.
Like they form these
Yeah.
friendships, like
Sweet.
similar to what you would do if you go down south, which is really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something like we like to highlight because we don't want folks to come here and be like, oh, I'm coming in expecting a silent space. And yeah, so that's just not what we offer. But honestly, for the most part, we get like really great feedback because it is something different. And it's kind of a modern approach on like Nordic lifestyle because doing more research on it over a larger period of time, it's like sauna in Norway
to be silent.
Yeah, like it was
to
very
gather.
much looked at as almost like a church space back in the day. But it's evolution of our generation. Now it's a place where neighbors go at the end of the day and they talk about their day, they bond, they maybe gossip. That's kind of the experience because when you're in a sauna with someone, you can have great conversation,
100%.
like and get to know each other really well. Like it's a great experience. So
I mean, we both go in to like stoke the fires, and sometimes I don't mean to like over listen to their conversation. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like
everyone's getting to know each other.
everyone's like deep into something. I'm like, this is what they're supposed to be doing.
But I mean, it's different for everyone. Obviously, there's
of
folks that
course.
really want that like time to themselves and that meditation space. But for us, it's just a different experience that we want to provide here.
So you're doing yoga here?
Yep.
Like,
Yes, I teach yoga. Typically, like winter, it's kind of hard right now because the dome is a little chillier, but like throughout the other seasons, like we're full swing on Saturdays. We do Wellness Wednesdays. So if you buy a day pass, you get a free yoga class.
Okay.
And then there's workshops that go on in the dome. Honestly, anything that if they want to do private classes as well. So
Have you seen any like businesses like rented out so far? Or anything
Yes,
that you're interested in
yes.
that?
We actually just had a business that a restaurant in Moncton, Black Rabbit. They came out and they had their manager, kind of like a manager powwow, and they did a little practice in there, and they used the dome for that. Who else?
Yeah,
There's
well,
a
we
lot
have
of people.
Pure Vita that usually comes
Pure
out.
Vita, yeah, that's right.
A few times a year. They do a day retreat.
Yeah.
And then we also have just like folks that rent the whole space because they want to take it for a weekend or a couple days here and there. And then we also have massage therapy on site, which is really great. That's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Is it every day?
No.
It's pretty much you just have to
Booked in
contact
advance.
us in advance.
Yeah,
And then I mean
exactly.
just because there's not an RMT here all the time, we just need to give them like a couple days notice and then usually it's no problem. But no, it's super cozy. And then other than that, we've been booking weddings like crazy lately.
Oh my
which is-
God.
This must be. How
Which
many
is great.
people could you do for like a?
We cap it at like 100.
We cap it at 100.
Which is a good number.
Yeah.
We have our first, actually, Jenna.
No way.
Yeah.
Jenna, yeah, she's doing it here.
And
I didn't get an invite,
And
by
hers
the way.
is definitely.
I didn't get an invite.
It's early.
Hopefully
it's
by
fine.
the time she's in, like, John.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she sees this. Oh, Oh, shoot, you gotta send that over. But yeah, hers is one of our bigger ones. We've had a couple weddings so far, last summer and fall. Smaller weddings.
Yep.
So it's really cool though, because like we say, it's not cookie cutter. Every single wedding we have here is completely different. Like some folks want to do their wedding and ceremony up top. Some want to use just this space as kind of the hub of the whole wedding. And then kind of how we do it is it's usually a 2-day package.
Okay.
So we sleep 12 people on site.
Okay.
So usually the bridal party will get here on Friday, kind of have their chill time, use the Nordic lounge. And then the next day is like the big shebang. And then they've got half of the next day to kind of unwind and head out. So yeah, so we sleep the wedding party or close family on site. And then there's a couple hotels just on either side of, or motels, sorry, on either side of us. So usually the rest of the wedding party will go there, or the guests, and so 100 is our max for like making it comfortable. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a big one. We've had some really fun weddings, honestly.
The very first wedding we had was one to remember.
It was
great, honestly.
We love them.
Yeah.
We still talk to most of the family very often, which is great. It was a surprise wedding.
Yes.
What do you mean a surprise wedding?
Well, okay.
How do you surprise getting married?
It was a surprise for the bride, which was the coolest part. But these people were amazing, like super spontaneous. I think she's Colombian Russian. He grew up outside of St. John. So him and his mom actually contacted us, maybe a few weeks prior to the date?
Yeah, it was, and
asked if we had anything available, like no matter what day throughout the week. And we had a Monday,
it was a
Tuesday.
long weekend in September, I think.
Okay.
And anyways, he's like, I want to surprise my potential future bride, with this whole planned wedding. So anyways, we planned everything for a 3-day wedding. People came from all over the world,
France,
Ukraine, France, Asia,
St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah, like literally all over. It was the coolest medley of people.
It was great.
And he proposed to her on Saturday. And they got married on Monday.
My God.
It was insane.
That's kind of cool now that you say it.
It was, I know, I was like, but wait, what if she says no? We're just going to have this epic party. And I don't know, hopefully she'll show up. But yeah, no, it was really cool. They were the best crew to have. I think it just went really smoothly. We had a great time. Not gonna lie, we were drained by the third day. I was like, I need to sleep for 24 hours. Because this crew could rally. Yeah. So it was really cool.
That was great.
That must make the experience of having a place like this so much more.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. I mean, for us, we love the everyday, but weddings are super fun because it's a super change of pace. Usually folks are here for an extended period of time. Like we said, 2, 3, even sometimes 4 days. Yeah. So you kind of get to know the whole dynamic, all the family members. Really, really cool.
How would someone go about the catering and the food and all that? How do you kind of set that up?
So
that wedding, Taj Mahal came in.
Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of those who book the wedding, they're kind of in charge of bringing in the food. I mean, obviously we give them recommendations.
Okay.
But this one was really cool. They had Taj come in. They had a long table under beside the dome under the lights. It was
family style big dinner spread.
Nice.
It was it was gorgeous. String lights over top.
Yeah.
But some folks just want to do casual barbecue, food trucks. Not so much large catered sit down super formal wedding. It's not really the vibe.
Yeah.
It's not really what we've attracted so far either.
No.
But everyone wants to do something fun and different.
We have a brunch wedding in May, which is going to be really cool.
That's going to be catered.
Can I just crash all these weddings?
Yeah.
Just
be
I'm Alice's cousin. I'm Rebecca's side.
Or just the wedding crasher. This guy keeps showing up.
Give me the guest list and I'll be like, okay, this is okay, I can work with this.
Or just put a Hope Wellness sweater on.
Pretend like you work here.
We're just hanging. This is what we do.
I'm the landscaper.
But
that'd be neat.
They're all really different, and that's what I enjoy because I know sometimes you see wedding photos and you're like, oh well, that girl's they all kind of look the same. You know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
I like
weddings, stuff like that.
Yeah, not that it's a bad thing, but I like the aspect of each bridal party can really make it their own. They can.
There's so many different
something completely different.
All in one place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, definitely have to be the type of couple that likes the outdoors, for sure.
Yeah.
But
So I'm just gonna come back to one thing that you said in the getting the loans and all that process. Like, how was that? Because there's
Oh
people
my
that are watching
God.
this, they're like, this might be the inspiration for a crazy idea, but how do you like navigate through that? Because
So,
you said like
we
you
won't
didn't
call
know
out
much,
any-
right?
I'm
We
not
won't
gonna.
call
I'm not
anyone
gonna
out.
name. No, I'm not gonna.
No.
Nothing at all. But
it didn't go smoothly.
it did not go smoothly.
okay.
Which it was like at first it did.
Yeah.
So we applied at this bank.
Too easy.
We got our loan,
Okay.
which we're like, wow, this is so simple.
We didn't even know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
No, like we did our business plan ourselves. Didn't hire anyone to help us with
Right.
a business plan. Worked on
Right.
it for a long time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like 3 months actually.
Yeah.
Or more. So then we applied for this loan at this bank. We got it. And then we had to
Switch from the domes.
switch from the domes to cabins because of the building code that changed. And they pulled our loan from us.
Literally.
Literally
With, like,
mid-construction. Like people were here, like
yeah, like
excavating
actually,
and-
yeah, because we had someone here breaking the sandstone rock,
Yes, yeah.
which was crazy expensive. We're in town. There's people
out
helping
here.
with the road. We're like deep into it, and this was all like nothing. It didn't look like there was anything really happening here because of
Okay,
all the
right,
work
right,
we
right.
put underground.
Underground, yeah.
Okay.
Underground piping, underground wiring, septic system, like mass amounts of money that go into a project at the beginning,
That you
and
never
literally it looks like nothing's here. Like
Yeah.
it looks like a logging road. It's the
Right.
most disappointing part of the
I
project
know.
for sure.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're at that point in the project, and like, people are here.
Yeah.
They're doing this work.
They're
They need to
working.
get paid. And
they
she's
pull
like,
the rug off of
as
you.
of today, you
Your
will
loan-
not,
your- yeah.
cannot take out any money. So we had like,
We were bawling.
we were
like-
crying, like
God.
having mental breakdowns.
Couldn't sleep.
No, I think I was
bet.
pregnant at that time
Yeah.
too. Crazy insomnia. Like this poor baby's gonna come out psychopathic because I'm having like these crazy
Yeah.
anxiety fits.
But now we look at it as a blessing.
Right.
Because we wouldn't have what we have now. Like,
Yeah,
with
'cause we
our
Where
ended
did it
up
go-
going-
Yeah, where did it go from there?
So yeah, we reached out. Going
Just
back a
so
few
many
steps, we
places.
we did a small course with CBDC.
Okay.
When we were kind of getting in the stages of wanting to make our business plan because we
Right.
really had no idea what should go into it, what was the most important aspects, where we should focus. So we did that. We met a guy named Mark. He was kind of our lead on it.
Okay.
He was telling us where to go, advice, helping us with our business plan when we had questions. So we reached out to Mark after all of this because he was like the nicest guy
my
on the
gosh.
planet. Like was following up, like, kind of
Making
giving us
sure
that
everything was
push
okay.
and telling us congratulations when we made the next steps. And so we reached out to him and we're like,
This is what's happening.
crying.
It's okay, girls. We're gonna get it figured out.
Yeah.
You've gone this far. I'm gonna make it
Shout out
happen.
to Mark.
I
Like,
know.
I know. We joke. We're like, he needs a statue on site
Yeah.
because 100, this place would not be here without
No.
him.
Yeah.
But so in the process, he's like, I'm gonna think, like, what can we do? We can't give up. We also owed people like $100,000
True,
at that point,
yeah,
and we're
yeah.
just single moms, like,
Literally
no money to pay them. We were
giving
paying
all of
them
our
like,
paychecks of our own personal paychecks and family also.
just being like,
massively
take this for
supporting
now,
us.
like, don't kill us.
My God.
And so I think we presented our business plan like 30 times to different banks.
Felt like a broken record.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it was draining because I'm like, I sound like so, like we've said
At the
it
end,
so
we're like,
many times.
We are Hope Wellness Eco Resort. I was like, oh my God, like
The elevator,
Elevator pitch
Yeah.
is like just
Not
gross.
there anymore.
Yeah, it was
God.
just like terrible. And sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Anyways, everyone sounded interested at
"Oh,
first,
this
but
sounds
then it was like
great."
radio silence.
And we're like, why are they
So
emailing us?
yeah,
Emailing us?
finally. So we would come out here every day and just like pick at whatever we could, like haul
right.
brush,
Yeah.
like rake gravel, whatever we could do to keep moving forward
Dig
without
trenches.
having to spend money.
Like head deep.
It sucks. My
Up to
hands.
here in dirt, like mud.
Oh yeah, just like
God.
pulling logs out. Literally, someone could do that in 5 seconds with an excavator, but we're like,
No, we're doing this. We have no
But
money.
I feel you
Yeah.
almost have to just keep pushing forward
Yeah.
because it's
Oh, we
like
had
it's almost
to.
like that
Don't-
getting out of that mental block of like if I stop,
you're never
everything
going
else is
back
gonna
to it.
Stop,
No.
right?
No.
Yeah.
And you're so
Exactly.
far in at that point, even though it doesn't look like it, don't stop.
Yeah.
Or,
No.
I mean, I got at some points throughout that part of the project why people do. Like,
Yeah,
it was mentally,
Yeah.
Exhausting and
and, like-
draining and like
so depressing.
Yes.
Because I was like, we're running out of options.
Yeah.
But we just kept coming out every day and like just doing as much as we could. And then
finally, Mark was like, I have great news.
yeah, he's like, I think I found you guys the solution.
Mark is like the Jesus
Oh,
Christ
yeah,
of,
he's like our
business
guru.
plans.
Jesus.
Like,
We love Mark.
Yeah.
We really do. But yeah, no, he called us, and then so CBDC was willing to give us
Like the max
half of
amount.
our loan,
okay.
and then he sent in some really great recommendations for us to pair up with ACOA, which funded the second half.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. That was right
And-
before Christmas too. I remember he's like, Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, it was the
You
best
guys got
news on the
accepted. I was like,
planet.
Hey.
Oh, and it did. Like those loans, they do.
Yeah.
Government loans take a long time. It was a long wait. It felt like it went on forever. But here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are. I mean, we almost made it to the finish line in budget, but there was definitely some stuff we went over on.
Oh,
You gotta, you can almost like, with especially with our design centers, like when clients come in, they have these really great ideas, and like you always try to talk about like what's your budget, and they have a budget, and that's great, but you have to be really transparent and be like, okay, you need 20% more
Yeah.
than that.
Oh yeah, always.
You probably
Exactly.
learned
If not-
that in the
Oh
case where it's like
my God.
If
it
not
could
more.
be even more.
Oh,
Right?
Our
yeah.
budget tripled.
Doubled.
Yeah.
Doubled.
Not
tripled? I feel like it probably tripled.
Well, maybe from the very
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
idea of us living in a shed and
Yeah,
having a
yeah.
desk. Yeah, probably tripled from
This
that.
is not a shed.
But
so
yeah,
Quite.
but I mean,
But yeah, definitely
also
doubled.
COVID. Like we all know,
Yeah.
everything
Oh
True.
man.
skyrocketed,
Our
and then
doors and windows
Yeah.
doubled in price.
Okay, doubled in price.
Yeah.
shipping, like every
story.
single thing went up. Of course, like all the laborers in terms of trades, they were so busy. Like you know this.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
guys' sales were probably insane throughout
it was-
COVID.
Yeah,
Everyone was
yeah.
building. Everyone was doing a project. So I mean, of course, their time is more valuable at that point. So
They know,
quotes,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
quotes went up. Everything went up.
Home Hardware helped us, build this beautiful bar over here.
Yes. Did you have you done
Thank you
it?
again.
It's been totally done.
I haven't. No,
What?
I'll
Check it out.
after.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It turned out nice.
I-
great.
You're trying to force me to try the cold plunge too there. So
Oh, you're going
So-
to do it.
Let's
Check out
actu-
the bar and go to the cold plunge.
Yeah.
We'll bring you a drink.
So let's talk about that. So like my perception of it is that I'm not sure, like, okay, I can't knock on it. I haven't tried it, but
Yeah.
like you've tried it
The cold
both
plunge.
tried it, yes.
Oh yes.
and you do it, you're fine. Like what's the
Well, like
what's
we
the
said,
real benefit?
like we said, it's not
Ease
for
into
everyone.
it.
Right.
Also ease into it.
I mean, benefits. There's like the list is long of
Right,
what our
right,
research
yeah.
has been.
Yeah.
Like when we're really talking about like studies.
Yeah.
So hot and cold therapy, it puts a stress on your body, right?
Okay.
So like a workout,
Yeah.
not like a mental stress. It's putting a physical stress on your body,
Okay.
which in turn is kind of detoxing those bad cells in your body.
Okay.
So, I mean, even recently I was listening to a podcast on how if you sauna every
Yeah,
day, like
yeah.
this is where sauna is like a religion for people. Their
Right.
sauna maybe like 80 minutes a week, which is pretty extensive.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And they have had studies where you have a 60% chance of cardiovascular disease,
Okay.
less chance of
Right, okay.
chance of
Yeah,
cardiovascular disease, and 60% less chance of developing Alzheimer's, which is like
Crazy.
That's
a massive
huge.
study.
Yeah.
Right,
it's-
all right.
Does everyone have the time to do that? Pretty rare. I mean, there, like we said, there are the Scandinavian countries where it is like a religion.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they do it every
that's
day.
big, right?
The health benefits are proven.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we kind of briefly went over, it's also a way to how were we saying it? Like structure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
But we also talked about how it's not for everyone. Like we don't suggest getting in there and making it a challenge with your buddies. Like
yeah.
it is
Don't do that.
hard
How
on
long
your
distance you can
body.
make,
It is.
yeah.
Like we said, the first time being a super annoyingly stubborn human being, I'm like, I will stay in
do
as
this.
long as humanly
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
I
You
got
got sick?
I got so sick. Like my body was not at all used to it.
No.
It was too much stress. It was too much.
Feel like you went for like an hour.
No, not really. But it was like
I'm
it
gonna
was
let
just
the
like
water freeze.
no, but it was also like I'm going back in. I'm going back in.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
constant rotation. And like we said, with anything else, if you're gonna dive into doing a workout and you've never worked out before and you're out there like pumping 200 pounds,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're gonna hurt your body.
It's also
It's
a
not
lot-
used to it.
You gotta just like let your ego
Yeah.
your ego aside and be
Yeah.
like, okay, baby steps. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ease into it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you can hurt yourself.
I guess my concern on things like that is always when it becomes like super
fast.
marketed, right?
Yeah,
It's like right now it's
absolutely.
like that. Like
It is.
like you're very well aware, but I do intermittent fasting. But it's like right now I see a lot of people are very interested in it, and I've been doing it since I'm 21, 22
Yeah,
years old,
right.
right? So I
Become more popular.
I
It has.
understand the fad around it, and me having done it, I see the benefit, so I can't knock something like the cold plunge. But
Yeah.
I guess that's always where
But
you
again,
see a little bit of skepticism.
Like,
Right.
I probably couldn't do the fasting. I would
Yeah.
be a miserable human.
They actually
it's not for everyone.
They say that like for the majority of women, it's a little bit more challenging just because of the hormonal cycle.
Right. That makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense.
And with like
We get
menstruation and
hangry.
stuff like that, it can be for some people it just can
Yeah,
be really
hard.
disruptive, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Versus guys where it's a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
You guys have
So-
more of a stable hormonal
Yeah, I
level.
think so. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get too science in it because I like have no knowledge in that part there. But for me, really, like the benefit is just like I don't eat during work time, and when I eat, it's like downtime. So
Yeah.
it just disconnects my day. So
Yeah.
it makes it really easy for me to be
We would
like,
probably get so much more done if we didn't snack during work.
there you go.
Maybe we should try it.
We're like,
Snack break,
quick
snack
staff,
break.
Yeah.
staff break for snacks.
I'll try
my
cold
God.
plunges. You try intermittent fasting.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll do
All
this
right,
again
we'll
in a
do
year.
it. Yes,
That's a deal.
we'll loop back and see how
Yeah,
it worked out. But no, I
exactly.
totally get it. It's, I
Yeah.
mean, North America, Canada in general, I find, we're kind of always a little slow on the curve. Like,
Yeah.
so say, with this, it is very popular. There's a lot of places where you can go and do the thermal cycle in New Brunswick now.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't have to be that. Like, people come here, don't at all feel like you have to do a cold plunge.
No, they'll just go in the hot tub
Come
or- yeah.
relax. Come
Yeah.
chat with your girlfriends or your
Yeah.
partner, and do whatever feels right. We are not
Yeah.
at all in like the
No.
mindset of pushing people to do the cycle. This is something we offer,
Okay.
but it's very casual. Like if that shows no appeal to you,
Don't do it.
don't worry about it.
There was a couple that has come back recurring, Haley and Mark. They were saying that they went somewhere and they literally, like, the owners take you through the cycles and they'll like kind of like hold your hand and guide you, like, hey, you got to stay in here for so long. I don't know
So
where it was.
it's more of a training, really. Like
Right.
they're educating you, which has its cool aspects.
It is cool, yes.
Yeah.
But
Really,
I
like
guess for
step by
those
Almost
step.
forceful, I guess.
well, that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe
but-
not. Like I see both sides of it, where
Yeah.
like some people want to go and that's their goal is to learn about this type of therapy. And I mean, without that guidance,
Can't
you don't
just
know
do
what you're
regular
doing.
therapy and just go see a therapist.
You could.
I know.
You could. It's probably more expensive, but yeah, like I see the benefits of that too. Like you're really
Yeah.
you're
It would
you're
be
learning why and how and
Yeah. Well, Cambria, the girl that's doing a film here, she talked about how in Ontario they do cold camps,
Okay.
which is like my friend Cassie just did it recently too, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. You'd have people come in, teach people how to actually do proper cycles,
Yeah.
and have people stay, and like it'd be a camp,
Right.
but for
right,
cold, do the cold therapy. So, anyway,
Yeah.
something to
Again, to each their own.
Yeah.
That's
For
true.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's some days like today.
Oh, I know. I don't think I.
I'm
should do
sorry.
that.
That has no appeal to me. And I know we're the owners of this place and we
I know.
love doing it. But some days, zero appeal.
Today's like
So
minus
good
20.
good on Matt for
Yeah, he's
rocking it.
great. Our camera guy is just a legendary.
Yay.
I call him my boss, but
We had, remember the cold snap last February? It was like minus 45.
Yeah,
We had a
yeah.
group of 4 women come, and everyone else, we just were like, you have the option to reschedule. So these
Like
4
no,
women came.
no cancellation
No,
consequences.
None at all.
It's friggin' freezing.
It
Yeah,
is
we're
like, we were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Arctic
We do.
freeze.
They're like, we
They-
never get to go out together.
They still
They came.
They used the pool. They jumped in the snow.
They were literally
Oh,
rolling
my
around
God.
in the snow.
Yeah.
They were troopers, though.
They
Like,
were.
made the most
Amazing.
out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of maybe something that's worth saying when it comes to the cold plunge is like a way of embracing the fact we live in Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a reason that people kind of get outdoors. They're trying to embrace that cold weather
Yeah.
and the benefits that sometimes come with it. Like, I do feel like as Canadians, we're kind of badass. Like, we live through these frigid
crazy.
temperatures,
Yeah.
and it's tough, like mentally and physically. So it's kind of the same thing, and it is charming in a way. I find that this has become a little bit more popular. Like it is a way of embracing these winter months, which is super hard for some people. Like I can
We used
attest
to
to
have
that.
crazy winter seasonal depression.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah,
of us, honestly. We'd be like, "Okay, let's go down south. Like, let's
Like
go
that's the only thing we
Yeah,
look
you go
forward
for a
to.
trip, right?
Yeah.
Until we started building this place, and we
Yeah.
were literally outside 12 to
Gives you
14
something
hours
to-
a day,
And
like
noticed like a huge change
absolutely.
in our mood, and
I would dread winter in like August. I was like,
we'd be thinking about
it's
it.
coming.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, like between what we have to offer and we don't get to use it very often because it's we don't have a ton of time. But just the fact of being outside for that many hours a day, like it does, I think, and this is something I've learned kind of similar to your fasting, like it has a major effect on your mood.
Right.
Like even in these months, I mean, don't get us wrong, sometimes we're running around like this and we're like, what the fuck? But yeah, like
But you feel
you
great
become
still.
accustomed to it. You kind of start to embrace the beauty of the winter, especially when you're in the woods and you're not in this big dirty city. And it's picturesque. And our mental health, I think, has significantly increased throughout the winters by being out here, for sure.
for
like
sure.
hands down, absolutely.
So what do people get like, do we talking about domes being like the first idea? How significantly different is it for the accommodations that you have right now? Like what do you get when
Polar
you
opposite,
White,
pretty
different,
much.
very polar opposite.
So
We've got
when-
wood structures now.
Yeah, wooden structures. Basically, keeping with like the eco-friendly theme, we had most of the wood milled on site or milled locally, and then we kind of just 180'd everything
It just
about
makes
the
me
dome.
think of like
and
when we were going through like the changeover from domes to now cabins. We lost our loan. We got it pulled from us. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do?
yeah, all at the same time. It was a shit show.
Yeah, so Katie and I meet up the next day, and she's like, I have this idea. I'm like, oh my God, I actually thought of the same idea too. Like, very similar, like two separate dwellings.
Okay.
You get your kitchen and living space in one, and then your bedroom and bathroom, and it's connected with an L-shaped deck with your hot tub or fire pit. So we want people to embrace the indoor-outdoor, feel, because, all seasons. We want people to be outside all year round.
Yeah, so it was like, again, going with like the Scandinavian theme. I know it's popular right now, but like there is something like deep in my soul that's like minimalism is
The way to go.
so
I
relaxing.
agree. I agree.
The clutter just is not my thing for sure. So kind of keeping with the theme, and honestly, like we find the Scandinavian Nordic culture is like a pillar. Like that's something we do strive towards. It's a beautiful way of living, and their architecture is gorgeous. So we kind of took that, ran with it, but not even with the interior design of it. Just the aspect of they do believe that being outdoors, no matter what the weather, is like a great path to mental clarity. So that's really kind of how we went. So we've had like really great response. I think there's been maybe a couple people
They're
that
like,
have come and been like,
"Wow."
we have to go outside to
Go into the
so when you wake up in the morning, you're in your bedroom, super cozy. It's got your bathroom, but when you want to get up and make your morning coffee, you gotta go outside. But what we found, which is pretty cool, is like once people, put on their boots and maybe their jacket, I mean, it's right there, so you don't really need your jacket. But once they do, some people will be like, oh, I'm outside now. Maybe I'll go for like a little walk in the woods. And then they're outside for like 2 hours. And they come back and they're like, I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah.
But it just is these tiny little pushes. We're still trying to make it super luxurious.
a little bit out of the
super,
comfort zone.
super comfortable. Just a little push. The same thing we try to do with like the eco-friendly aspect of the resort.
It's funny, kind of like weird connection to this, but a couple days ago it was snowing, and it's kind of like same thing. It's like if you don't force yourself to go outside or have any reason, you might just sit there and just look at the snow and be like, maybe it'd be cool to go outside. And then,
Shit, I gotta deal with that snow removal.
Well, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna go out for a walk there. No tunes, nothing. And I'm like, I shit you not, I felt like a kid again.
Right?
Being outside,
I
listening
know.
to the sounds.
Oh my God.
I know.
So I can totally appreciate that because you're
cool.
forced to do it, and it's just that little step.
Yeah.
And then as you're outside, you're like,
oh, this is nice.
Shit, there's more than just this frame that I'm kind of boxed in.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's true. It's been great so far. I'm again not always everyone's cup of tea, I'm sure, but we're lucky that most of the folks come out here and they're like excited to get in nature or excited to try something a little bit different. And that was like a huge thing we try to keep up with. Is we really do want this place to be different. We don't want it to be like a cookie cutter mold of there's a lot of outdoor experiences now for accommodations and hospitality in New Brunswick, which is great. I mean, we're so lucky to have as many small businesses as we do. But like, I think it's really important for all of us as entrepreneurs, and especially in hospitality, that we all have a unique aspect because I mean, if we're not all doing something totally different, then it's like how are people going to find us? Why are they going to come to you? I think it's really important to put your own really strong identity on your brand.
And I feel, and probably your experience from the hospitality business has allowed you to do that, but you need to dissociate from the making the money part and actually creating that experience. And you do need to make money. It's a business. Like don't get me wrong. I think everybody should go in and hopefully, those loans will be paid off. And all that.
I know. We're like, I wonder what life will be like when they're paid off. Because it is daunting at the beginning. Like,
it should start with the vision of creating an experience for a client that's going to come here and come back. And I think that's the important part is that like when you think about maybe that person that goes in as an investment is like, it's not the same thing as a month-to-month rental, right? It's like somebody's going to come in maybe for a day, 2 days. You want to create a lifetime partnership with that.
And you have a very small period of time to create that bond.
You do.
But it's really fun. It really is.
Like, anything you would have done differently with like when you look back on like building, because you were the contractors,
right?
Yeah. I mean, small things. Yes. I think the way we laid it out is kind of what makes sense and what we envision. I mean, there's small things. I mean, our hot tubs. No. We're working on kind of switching those out for upgraded models of wood burning because they've been a major pain in the ass. Whoever is buying wood burning hot tubs, don't prepare yourself.
Or do it, but
Oh my God, they're a full-time job. They're a full-time job. The ones we got, like they're beautiful, but they're not meant for everyday use. Like we use them every damn day, and there have been a lot of mishaps with them.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
the cleaning of them.
We're like, if they weren't so expensive, we'd want to burn them.
Oh yes.
Massive bonfire.
I've said it before. I'm like, I wish we could just toss this in the fire.
I know. They've just been a big headache for sure. So that's one thing. If we had known, we would have gone. I don't even think an alternate route because we love the charm of the wood fire. And it's fresh. So there's no chemicals. It's like fresh water from the well. It's nice. Like you get out feeling great. But just different models for sure.
We actually got a new model for our double nature suite. It's been awesome.
It's been working so much better.
It's been amazing. And we're going to eventually swap out the other two.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Baby steps.
But
so stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if we would have done things different, but we definitely have tons of ideas for how we want to add.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything you want to share?
Whew. My God.
Oh boy.
Details. There's so many ideas. Honestly, okay, well,
one at a time.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to go too far because who knows? Like some of these plans could take years to come to fruition. So I don't want to like jump the gun.
Well, you do have a great event that you're planning for
the
festival.
Summer, right?
Yes.
We had our last, so it'll be our second music festival, Music and Wellness Festival.
Bigger, better.
Bigger, better. Last year was one day, which was good. It was,
1 day, 1 night.
One day, 1 night.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it worked out good.
Learning curve. We've never planned a festival before.
No.
It was kind of funny though, because it was like, well, we never have days off. We'll never, like Ashley and I used to go to festivals all the time together. Right. Mm-hmm. We'll never go to another festival because we can never go anywhere together. Maybe one day in 8 years when our loans are paid off. So we're like, well, why don't we just do it here? Like these ridiculous, like almost childish ideas where it's like, well, if we can't go to the sleepover, we'll have our own.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what it was. And we're like, well, we can't go to any of the festivals we want to. So we just started planning one.
Let's just have our own.
Yeah.
And then we did. And it was great. We're going to do our second one this summer.
Yeah. So bigger, like I think we have 30 plus DJs.
7 or 8 bands.
Live bands. So just trying to incorporate,
both
both
workshops.
Both kinds of sounds
Yep.
because a lot of the festivals now obviously are
Have
mostly
a mix.
electronic.
Or bands.
Bands
Depending-
are a lot of
depending-
work.
yeah, depending on the
But
festival.
I find a lot of the festivals we went to over the past like 6-7
lot of
years,
DJs
not as many bands, live
Yeah.
music. So we want to bring in that aspect of having both. We have multiple stages we'll have on the property, mixed in with some yoga classes included, some cacao ceremony,
A drag brunch.
drag brunch. There's gonna be like just a bunch of stuff happening. Down here is kind of like a space where people can chill out. There's a small stage that goes by the pool.
Okay.
Awesome food, live arts, just all kinds of stuff. Just entertainment. Like there's a little mix of wellness with the fun, get to know each other. We want people to come here and connect. And,
Right.
it's a large part of what our business plan was. We really want people to connect, whether it's, with your best buddy or your partner or just meeting new people. So, and that's what we found was really cool last year. We had a ton of vendors and workshops and
We
everyone.
had 30 vendors around.
Yeah. And everyone, it was
Local
so beautiful
stuff
to
and-
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all within New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was really neat to see. Everyone kind of came and it's almost like a kid's birthday. And
Right.
everyone's in their little bubbles.
Yeah.
By the end of the night when the tunes were playing and it was a big party up top and everyone was socializing and dancing.
Yeah, it was
and
really cool.
I mean, it ended up raining.
But it
Like
was
late
still
in the
great.
night, but just like,
Everyone
Walla
just-
was playing and fire dancing and just
Crazy.
everyone was
That was
dancing in the rain.
awesome.
It was beautiful. It was really great.
I'll ask you one last thing, and this is something that we kind of try to promote through, like, because of the name of the podcast, the Here's How, and I think this, you've talked about a lot of this, well, some of the struggles, or maybe we just scratched the surface
Yeah, I think
on
we-
it. But I think it's
Something more
inspiring-
positive.
I think it's inspiring because it's like, you hit some hurdles and you kept pushing, but there might be like a younger person that'll watch this, or even someone that is older or the same age. I think age doesn't make a difference
Yeah,
on your
no,
dreams,
no,
right?
no.
Is there something you could say that, like, if there's one thing that I can tell you based on my experience, here's how I did it?
I would say, we'll both go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say personally, when I build something or I have a passion, like I can see every detail of it in my head.
Yeah.
And I could see every detail of this place once it was built if people believed in us.
Yeah.
Like what Ashley and I would be doing and how much fun it would be to be, helping people and living our dream. And I mean, if you can really vividly see that in your head and it feels amazing, I would just fucking push through. It's gonna be shitty. There's gonna be super shitty moments.
There were a lot
of shitty moments. But like, if you really truly believe that that is the best life and like the most amazing thing you could do, like just keep going. Like, don't give up. Literally, don't take no for an answer. Just harass people, which we had to do a few times.
We had to do a lot, and also realize that it will take longer than 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be patient, right?
Be very
Be
patient
patient,
and
be patient.
expect a lot of hurdles and
Many
probably a lot of financial
Yes.
increases. But honestly,
And go see Mark.
go see
Mark Terrio.
We love Mark. But yeah, like if it feels right, the financial part, it's scary, but it's like, what do you prefer? Like, do you want to be living a beautiful life and have a decent income one day, or have a job that you really don't
going
enjoy?
to?
Like
Yeah,
for me,
right.
I would take less money and a beautiful life over more money and a job I
100%
hated.
agree.
So if that's where your mind's at,
Yeah.
and you have a really great idea you're passionate about, then I would say
Go with your
fucking
gut.
go for it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Make it happen. And then call us and we can collaborate.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I appreciate your time. This has been probably one of the most refreshing experiences that we have on the podcast. So
Thank you.
I wish
Thank
you all the best.
for letting us
Thank
be
you.
your first women.
I know.
Hopefully
Yeah.
that's a
We're carving the path. We're
Yep.
gonna keep going that way.
Love
so,
it. Love
and
it.
hopefully we'll do it back in a year. You'll have done your intermittent fasting. I'll be
Right.
cold
You're a
plunge
cold plunge
expert.
expert.
As I stare at these cupcakes
Yeah.
or at these muffins, I'm like,
So
daunting me.
snacky. And then maybe by then we'll have implemented the visions that we
There
didn't
you go.
overly touch
Right,
on.
exactly. Because we have a lot in our brain.
Yeah. A
Like
lot.
in
I can't wait to
different,
hear
like
more about
different ideas.
It'll never
Yeah.
stop though. You'll come back in 10 years and we'll be like,
We'll be doing
Yeah.
this.
Oh my god,
yeah.
what the hell is going on here?
complete 180 change. Yeah, probably. We're
We have a lot
crazy
of
like that.
ideas, but yeah.
It's been very fun. Honestly, we both were a little nervous, so thank you. It went
did great.
super
Yes,
fast.
thank
you.
Did I do
Naturals.
okay with my hands?
You did amazing.
I feel like I was fidgeting a lot and moving.
You might have some bloopers you gotta get rid of.